Welcome to Retired Life. This is a new series of online TV programs that are really designed for people of, I guess, my generation. I'm 66, so people who are around this age, people who are retired, people who have early retired or are continuing to work in some way. Every week we'll bring you 12 or more minutes online that'll talk about travel, that'll talk about cooking and food and wine and all kinds of stuff really, and we'll also be trying to develop more and more news information as we go along with the channel. See what you think of it, give us your advice, tell us your opinion. You can always reach us through our Facebook page or on Twitter, or also of course through email off the website. The website www.retiredlife.tv. In this week's programme we're going to make a start with someone called Becky Copestake. Becky is one of those people who just seems to be able to cook without any problems at all, and the kind of meals she cooks are the kind of meal that I like to cook. Something that's quick and easy to prepare, something that's delicious to eat but doesn't take too much input. Take a look at this: fish parcels.
Sometimes when you watch a television programme you find that the fish dish that's being created is incredibly complicated. It really doesn't have to be that difficult, so don't be frightened of buying and cooking fish. And if you're not sure what to buy, what to do with it, you can always ask for advice from the person who works in the shop. They're the experts, they really do know their product, and they'll give you all the help that you need, and they'll sell you as little as you would like to buy. I'm going to make a parcel with fish. It can be any fish that you choose. It could be cod, it could be haddock, it could be salmon if you like salmon, and it's the easiest thing in the world. So I'm going to buy some cod fillets and then I'll show you what to do with them. So fish parcels involves a piece of foil with a piece of greaseproof on the top. You can do it with either foil or greaseproof, but I like to put the two layers together because it just makes me feel more confident that it's not going to leak. Into the middle of my greaseproof I put a handful of spinach. I've washed it. This is from the greengrocer. It's probably a third the price that you would pay in the supermarket. So a little bed of spinach. Onto that goes my piece of cod. Now the fishmonger has pin boned it for me and skinned it, but I do like to just check that there's nothing left behind, so run your finger over it just to make sure. And then you can tell it's too long for my bed of spinach. I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to just put the two pieces side by side like that. Okay. Next, onto the top of that I'm going to put some slices of tomato, just to improve the colour, and because of the juicy nature of tomatoes you'll get a little bit more juice in the bottom of your parcel at the end. When you're dealing with tomatoes, don't give anybody that stalk, that's just not nice. Get rid of that. And then 2 or 3 pieces of tomato on there, and perhaps even a fourth one. So already you can see the colour is so much better, and it's improving the food value of the dish as well. Now a squeeze of lemon. Let me just show you this. This is a supermarket lemon for 30p. That's a greengrocer's lemon for 30p. I know which one I would prefer to use, but I don't want a lot of lemon juice, so I am going to use the small one at the moment. But the difference is phenomenal. So a little squeeze of lemon juice over there. Get rid of the pip. Just run it through your fingers to catch those. Little squeeze of lemon. And then some herbs. Some flavouring. I'm going to put capers on as well because they've got a slightly vinegary flavour and they are particularly good with fish. So a little sprinkling of capers just to pep up the flavour because it can be a little bland. There we are. And then a little bit of parsley on the top as well. A little bit of parsley. And then seasoning. You do need to season fish very, very well because it does need it. And it does need salt. Even though we think of it as being from salted climes, it needs plenty of salt, plenty of pepper. And then we're going to fold up our parcel. We want to seal in all of the juices and the steam. So lift up the sides, fold it over, lift up the ends, scrunch them over, and there's your fish parcel. Well, it sounds as though the fish is cooked, so timer off. Let's have a look. Smells good. Now mind your fingers when you do this, but we're going to unwrap gingerly. The steam is the thing to watch. There it is. A whole meal in a packet. Now you can serve it from the package. You can just lift that onto a plate. Just turn the sides down a little bit, and there you have it. A couple of new potatoes with that perhaps, but you've got your spinach at the bottom, your tomato on the top. You really don't need a whole lot else, and the juices in there are looking absolutely lovely. So, fish in the parcel.
Even when you don't have to go to work every day, getting away for just a short break is still fun. Join us on this first instalment of a trip to the Isle of Wight with Dacia's Holidays. We're out for 4 nights at Shanklin on the Isle of Wight with operator Dacia's Holidays. So first, let's hear from our driver. It's Craig on this journey.
We are going to have a stop. We'll probably have a stop in about an hour's time. We're running about 5 minutes early at the moment, so that's good. And our stop will be for about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. And then from there we'll make our way down to Southampton. Now then, there is a ferry at 1:30, but I don't think we're going to catch that one. That's a little bit too early when we've got to go around the M25. So it'll probably be the 3 o'clock, alright? So it won't be any later than 3 o'clock getting on the ferry. Once we get over the other side, we'll have about 35-minute drive to the Dacia's, and then from there it'll either be Mr. 40 or Mrs. 40 will get on board. It'll either be Joe or it'll be David. And I'll have a quick chat with you about your meal timings, your hotel facilities, and what excursions you've got on this week.
This stop was an hour before reaching Southampton for the ferry, and there were more than enough well-spaced stops for a comfortable journey. The hour-long ferry crossing from Southampton to Cowes is the highlight of the journey down. You can sometimes see some fabulous cruise liners as well as more general shipping as you sail out into the Solent. And that's a sheltered stretch of water too, so your crossing is very rarely at all rough. The whole operation is very efficient and well managed. Ferries depart on time and the service is frequent enough to ensure that you don't have to wait for too long. Once aboard the boat, there's ample seating, loos and refreshment facilities. and that's the island in the distance. We come into Cowes on this journey, although there is a shorter foot passenger route to ride via both hovercraft and fast ferry. 35 minutes in the coach then takes us on to Shanklin and the 61-room Dacia's Hotel. We'll look at rooms later, but the public spaces in this hotel are excellent. There are 3 good-sized lounge areas, a small bar and a seating area, a restaurant which is really smart, and a large public show bar where the surprisingly good evening entertainment happens. Come back soon to see the second part of our coach tour guide to this Dacia's holiday. I hope you have enjoyed this first programme in this series of Retired Life TV. I hope we're going to do lots more shows, and gradually I hope we're going to include more and more content that comes from you. If you've got ideas for features, if you know of news stories that are of interest to older people, if you'd just like to get in touch, we'd like to hear from you and have your content to put in the programmes. If you make your own videos, take lots of photographs about interesting subjects, we'd like to see those as well. So all you have to do is get in touch with us, www.retiredlife.tv.